Even before the first race of the new era, Ferrari is already burdened by the crushing weight of great expectations. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc are desperate for a title-winning machine, but the car Ferrari just rolled out in Spain is arguably the most conservative amongst the frontrunners. While rivals are revealing extreme aerodynamic concepts, the SF26 looks suspiciously safe. Is this a masterstroke of patience from Fred Vasseur, or has the Scuderia already lost ground in the 2026 development war? Welcome back. Before we get into it, I would really appreciate if you could drop a like and subscription. We're aiming for 1,000 subs by the F1 summer break, and it helps motivate me to bring you more top-tier F1 analysis. The first shakedown of the 2026 generation is officially in the books, and on paper, the Italian outfit can be satisfied with their first taste of serious track time. They enjoyed a smooth week of running, avoiding the teething troubles that plagued newcomers like Audi, which is a commendable achievement given this is the biggest technical overhaul in the sport's history. However, we have to look beyond the basic reliability. While Mercedes left Barcelona looking like early winners, already focused on fine-tuning their setup, Ferrari finds themselves in a much more ambiguous position. They are under the immense scrutiny to deliver a car capable of winning immediately. They have seemingly held back. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why Ferrari's safe strategy is a massive gamble, the specific technical deficits that they are already showing against Adrian Newey's designs, and why the next 2 weeks in Bahrain will decide their entire season. The narrative coming out of Maranello is defined by a very specific philosophy from team principal Fred Vasseur. Several weeks before the cars even hit the track, Vasseur emphasized that the pecking order at round 1 is inevitably going to evolve, and that it is dangerous to burn through your development funds too early. His argument is that with the budget cap restricting spending, teams will pay a high price for any upgrades that don't work effectively immediately. Because of this financial fear, Ferrari brought a relatively safe package to Barcelona. Unlike Aston Martin or Mclaren, who arrived with visually aggressive aerodynamic solutions, the Maranello squad remained conservative. Their objective in Spain was not to top the timesheets, but to analyze initial data and confirm that their development trajectory can be pursued without unforeseen complications. Essentially, they are trying to validate the baseline before they commit to manufacturing complex parts. However, this patience comes with a risk, because when you look closely at the grid, the SF26 is already missing several tricks that rivals are already exploiting. Adrian Newey, who initially feared the 2026 rules would be too rigid, has proven that there is actually a reasonable amount of flexibility, and the new cars confirm his theory. Let's look at the front wing. The FIA wants to limit outwash, but teams are finding ways around it. While Ferrari is running a standard configuration, both Aston Martin and Mercedes have attached their nose pylons to the second wing element. This allows the upper element to move more freely as active aerodynamics up to 60mm, while the structural part of the nose can be shorter. By sticking to a standard design, Ferrari might be sacrificing valuable design freedom on the main plane that their rivals are already utilizing. Furthermore, there is a small but telling detail missing from the Scarlet car. Mercedes, Red Bull and McLaren all feature a nose hole or opening between the logos on the nose cone. This provides access to a flap adjustment mechanism that allows mechanics to change the wing angle on both sides simultaneously during a pit stop. At this stage, the SF26 does not have this system, meaning they are still using the old-fashioned, slower adjustment method. The technical divergence continues as we move back along the car. The general trend for 2026 has seen a mass return to pushrod front suspension. While James Keen notes this can be slightly lighter, the decision is almost entirely aerodynamic. With the new rules relying less on ground effect, the pushrod components sit higher, clearing the way for better airflow management. Ferrari has followed this pushrod trend, but they haven't taken it to the extreme seen elsewhere. For instance, the new Aston Martin features radical anti-dive geometry, with the front leg mounted as high as possible and the rear leg as low as possible. This extreme angle isn't just for suspension kinematics. It is designed to force airflow towards the lower areas of the car. In terms of the bodywork, the differences are stark. Ferrari has retained its signature compact triangular airbox and a stepped shark fin on the engine cover. Interestingly, the new Aston Martin actually features horns on the airbox that resemble recent Ferrari designs, likely a result of Enrico Cardelli's moving from Ferrari to Aston Martin. But look at the side pods. Adrian Newey has introduced an underbite inlet on the Aston Martin, paired with incredibly tight packaging that leaves almost no volume for radiators. This is a similar design to what we saw with the 2023 Red Bull before it went to an overbite concept. Red Bull has gone for a design that tapers off extremely tightly, creating massive space for airflow over the floor edges. In contrast, Ferrari's bodywork appears far more conventional. They are utilizing the new wakeboards, the side deflector arrays, but we have yet to see if they are pushing the outwash boundary as aggressively as others. But here is the thing most people miss. Ferrari isn't completely behind the curve. There is one critical area where they have matched the leaders. The 2026 regulations have simplified floors, meaning the airflow is no longer strong enough to seal the diffuser as effectively as before. To fix this, teams need to find new ways to drive the diffuser. On the SF26, we can see a mouse hole opening in the diffuser wall. This solution, which is also present on the Mercedes and Red Bull, allows the car to channel airflow from the undercut side pods directly into the diffuser area to generate more downforce. This suggests that while Ferrari's bodywork looks safe, their understanding of the floor physics is aligned with the top teams. So what is the verdict on Ferrari's chances? The reality is that the Barcelona shakedown has left us with massive unknowns. We cannot trust the lap times because we don't know who was running sustainable fuels and who was using the FIA exemption for older fuel mixes. We also know that Mercedes is looking dangerous. They were the winners of the week because they advanced to setup work while the others were still checking systems. But the biggest insight is this. Ferrari's conservative appearance is a deliberate choice, but it puts them on a knife edge. They have a significant batch of necessary upgrades pending approval in Maranello. The engineers are waiting to confirm that the safe baseline works before they press the button on production. This means the version of the SF26 we saw in Spain is practically irrelevant. The real story is whether the data from this week is good enough to unlock the aggressive upgrades they have in the pipeline. If the correlation is good, Ferrari could arrive in Bahrain with a completely different animal. If the correlation is off, they will be struck with a conservative car in a field of extreme innovators. The next 2 weeks are absolutely critical. Ferrari is now forced to make big decisions on just how aggressive their final 2026 package will be. With the rate of development predicted to be incredibly high under the new rules, falling behind now could cost them the championship before it even starts.